At 11:47 on Sunday night, Alex made a decision. Tomorrow, his life would change. Not improve a little, change. He opened a new notebook and wrote 3 words across the first page. New life plan. Then he made a list. Wake up at 6 o'clock, run 5 kilometers, take a cold shower, read 30 pages, eat better, work for 8 focused hours, no sugar, no scrolling, no excuses. It was a beautiful plan. It was also longer than some national constitutions. But Alex felt incredible. He could already see the future. In that future, he had perfect abs, a clean apartment, a successful business, and probably a mysterious black turtleneck. He set 7 alarms. Then he went to bed feeling like a new man. At exactly 6 o'clock, the first alarm rang. Alex opened one eye. The future suddenly looked very loud. He pressed snooze, then he pressed it again. Then, in a powerful act of personal growth, he turned the phone face down. At 8:36, Alex woke up. The run was gone. The cold shower had quietly been replaced by warm water and regret. The healthy breakfast became cereal eaten directly from the box. And the 8 focused hours began with a 40-minute video called 10 Signs Your Cat May Be Manipulating You. By noon, the new life plan was dead. Total lifespan, just over 12 hours. Cause of death, Monday. But here's the strange part. The night before, Alex wasn't pretending. He really wanted to change. He felt focused, certain, almost unstoppable. So where did that person go? Did motivation disappear while he slept? Did it escape through the window? Was it kidnapped by the snooze button? Or was motivation never what Alex thought it was? For the next few days, Alex tried to bring the feeling back. He watched a man shouting in a gym. Then another man shouted beside a mountain. Then a third man shouted from inside a rented car. Apparently, shouting is very important for success. For 10 minutes, it worked. Alex stood up, cleaned his desk, opened his laptop, and typed the title of a project. Then he checked one message. That message led to a short video. The short video led to another short video. And 47 minutes later, Alex was watching a raccoon wash cotton candy and experience the full tragedy of existence. The motivation was gone again. This kept happening. At night, Alex wanted a better life. In the morning, he wanted 5 more minutes. On Monday, he wanted to build a business. On Tuesday, he wanted to rename the folder. By Wednesday, opening the folder felt aggressive. And by Friday, he had moved the entire plan to next Monday. A clean reset, a fresh start, a completely different Monday. Except it wasn't, because Alex had made one mistake. He thought motivation was fuel, something you put inside yourself before doing hard things. But motivation is closer to weather. Sometimes it arrives, sometimes it doesn't, and sometimes it appears at 11:47 at night when nothing can be done with it. That's because motivation loves the idea of action, not always the action itself. The idea is clean. The idea has no sweat, no confusion, no awkward first attempt. In Alex's head, running looked like a slow-motion movie. Morning sun, perfect breathing, inspirational music. But in real life, running felt like being chased by death for no clear reason. The picture in his head gave him energy. The real thing demanded it. And that difference matters. A plan gives your brain a tiny taste of the reward before the work begins. You imagine the finished body, the finished project, the finished video. For a moment, your brain feels like progress has already started. It hasn't, but your brain is not known for reading the fine print. This is why buying a notebook can feel strangely productive. The notebook is clean. The pages are empty. No mistakes exist yet. Alex once spent 40 minutes choosing the perfect productivity app. Then he spent another hour changing the colors. By the end, he had built a beautiful system for work he still hadn't started. Congratulations. The boxes were organized. The life was not. But there was another problem. A few days later, Alex tried again. This time, he lowered the goal. He decided to work for just 1 hour. He sat at the kitchen table, opened the laptop, and immediately felt resistance. Not pain, not fear, just a heavy, invisible feeling that said, maybe later. So Alex made coffee, then adjusted the chair, then cleaned the screen, then noticed the plant looked dry. The plant had not been watered in 6 days, but suddenly, it was a national emergency. Why? Because starting the task meant entering uncertainty. And the brain doesn't love uncertainty. Before you act, it makes a quick calculation. How much effort will this take? And how soon will I get something back? Food is clear, videos are clear, messages are clear. You click, something happens. Work is different. You click, then you think, then you get confused, then maybe after 2 hours you produce something terrible. Amazing deal. No wonder the brain tries to leave. Alex didn't need a scientific paper to understand this. He only needed 2 doors. Behind the first door was a difficult project with no guaranteed result. Behind the second door was a sofa, a phone, and a video titled, "Man Builds Underground Swimming Pool Using Only a Spoon." Which door do you think the brain chooses? Exactly. The Spoon Man wins again. Feeling resistance didn't automatically mean Alex was lazy. He wasn't avoiding the project because he didn't care. He was avoiding it because he cared enough to fear doing it badly. If he never started, the project could remain perfect in his imagination. If he started, it could become real, and real things can fail. So the brain offered protection. Wait until you feel ready. Wait for the right mood. Wait until Monday. This sounded reasonable. It was also a trap, because action usually doesn't come after motivation. Motivation often comes after action. The following Thursday, Alex discovered this by accident. He had no energy, no plan, no dramatic music. He only wanted to stop feeling guilty. So he opened the project and told himself he would work for 5 minutes, not 1 hour, not until it was finished 5 minutes. He wrote 1 bad sentence, then another, then deleted both. Excellent start. But something changed. The task was no longer a giant dark cloud. It was a document. There were words on it. Bad words, yes, but words. 5 minutes became 12. 12 became 28. And at some point, Alex forgot to ask whether he felt motivated. He was already moving. This is the part motivational videos often get backward. They show the feeling first, then the action. But in real life, action often creates the feeling. You don't wait to feel warm before lighting a fire. You light the fire, then warmth appears. Motivation is often the smoke, not the match. The next morning, Alex tested the idea with exercise. He didn't promise a full workout. He put on his shoes. That was the whole goal. Once the shoes were on, standing by the door in full running clothes felt slightly stupid. So he went outside. He walked for 2 minutes, then ran to the corner, then ran 1 more block. It wasn't impressive. No birds formed his name in the sky. No sports brand offered him a contract. But he returned home having done something. And that small win mattered more than the giant promise from Sunday night. Because promises create pressure. Proof creates belief. The brain trusts evidence. Every time Alex acted, even in a tiny way, he collected proof. Proof that he could begin without feeling ready. Proof that discomfort didn't kill him. Proof that a bad start was still a start. But Alex still had one problem. His environment was quietly fighting him. His phone slept beside his bed. Snacks sat on the desk. The running shoes were hidden in a box under winter clothes, 2 cables, and an object nobody could identify. Every good decision required effort. Every bad decision had 1-click checkout. So Alex changed the room, not his personality. He charged the phone outside the bedroom. He placed the shoes by the door. Before bed, he left the project open on his laptop, and he put the book on the pillow. This created a new problem. At night, he had to move the book before sleeping, which was annoying. But apparently, annoyance can also be a productivity system. None of these changes made Alex more motivated. They made motivation less important. That was the real shift. Before, every action required a debate. Should I run? Should I work? Should I read? And Alex's brain was an excellent lawyer. It could produce 30 reasons to avoid 10 minutes of effort. You slept badly. It's cold. You should research first. Your left knee made a sound in 2019. Very serious. But when the next step was already prepared, there was less to discuss. Shoes by the door, document open, phone far away. The decision had been made earlier by a calmer version of Alex. The tired version only had to follow the path. Then came the hardest test. 2 weeks later, Alex missed a day. He stayed up late, woke up tired, skipped the walk, and ate something that arrived in a cardboard box and had probably never seen a vegetable. The old Alex would have called the day a failure, then the week, then the month, then he would have ordered dessert because the month was already ruined. But this time, he did something different. He didn't restart on Monday. He restarted at 3:40 in the afternoon. He opened the project and worked for 6 minutes. That was all. The day still wasn't perfect, but it wasn't dead. This is where many plans quietly fall apart. Not on the first bad day, but on the story people tell after it. I missed once, so I'm inconsistent. I ate badly, so the diet is over. I skipped the workout, so clearly I'm not that kind of person. One mistake becomes evidence. Then the evidence becomes an identity, and suddenly, one missed morning is giving a speech about your entire future. Alex stopped doing that. He treated mistakes like wrong turns, not new addresses. The goal was no longer to be perfect. The goal was to return quickly. Months passed. Alex didn't become a machine. He still had bad mornings. He still watched useless videos. He still occasionally opened a fridge, forgot why, and stood there like a confused penguin. But the pattern changed. He stopped waiting for the magical feeling. He began before he felt ready. He made the first step small. He made the good choice easy. And when he failed, he returned before failure could become a personality. The strange thing was, motivation didn't disappear forever. It came back more often, but now it arrived after the work had started. Halfway through a walk, 10 minutes into writing, 3 pages into a book. It no longer had to drag Alex to the starting line. It met him on the road. And that's the part nobody tells you. You probably won't feel motivated every day, and you're not supposed to. Motivation is a visitor, useful, exciting, but terrible at paying rent. Build your life around it. And eventually you'll be standing at 8:36 on a Monday morning, eating cereal from the box, wondering where your new personality went. But build a path that works even when the visitor doesn't arrive and something changes. You stop asking, do I feel like doing this? And start asking, what's the smallest next move? That question isn't exciting, it won't look good on a poster, and nobody will shout it from the top of a mountain. But it works, because your life is not built on the days when you feel unstoppable. It's built on the ordinary days, the tired days, the boring days, the days when the first step looks too small to matter. And then, somehow it matters. So the next time motivation disappears, don't chase it. Don't watch 17 videos. Don't redesign your entire life at midnight. Just make the next move small enough to begin. Open the page, put on the shoes, write one bad sentence. Motivation may catch up, it may not. Either way, you'll already be moving. And if you want more stories about psychology, discipline, money, and the strange ways our brains control us, subscribe to the channel. Alex still has a lot to figure out, preferably before next Monday.